Welcome to Young Americans Abroad, your best place to find weekly content on young American soccer players playing overseas. My name is Austin Van Churn.
And my name is Patrick Ferry.
And welcome to our show. Well, we're back this week. We finally have our microphones working.
It's about time, Austin.
Yeah, we've had these since before we started recording, but we finally have the piece that connects them to what we're recording with. So we want to talk about two big debuts today of Tim Weah and also Erik Palmer-Brown. We also want to talk about a big weekend from Andrija Novakovic. And then finally, Pat, what do we want to finish with?
We also have some great accolades of certain players getting Team of the Month and player for their team. So great accolades to mention, so stay tuned, guys.
Yeah. So, Andrija Novakovic this weekend scored 2 goals in Telstar's 3-2 win.
All right. He's on a roll.
Yeah. The first goal was a header off of a nice corner. The second goal was a finish on the ground off of a cross. So 2 quality goals this weekend.
That's awesome. And what does that put them? What does that put their team up to in the league there? Third?
Yeah. So Telstar is in third right now in the Eerste or the Jupiler League, which is the second league in the Netherlands. And that position in the table is actually a playoff relegation or playoff promotion position. Yeah. So they'll actually, if they finish the season, would go into a playoff to fight for promotion. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, so the only reason for that, though, is because Ajax's reserve team, young Ajax, is in first place right now. So that third position is actually not supposed to be a promotion playoff position.
That's true. Yeah, that second team can't move up, unfortunately. But
yeah.
So it seems like that Andrija also has been setting some good records with his goals in the season and just the form he's been in the last few games.
Yeah,
so you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so he actually has 4 goals in the last 4 games. Ooh. And then also, if you bring it back a little bit, he has 9 goals in 8 games. So
wow, that's more than a lot of the really U.S. strikers in the World Cup qualifying.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. It's not hard, I guess.
Yeah. But also, Austin, you're mentioning there, a lot of people were talking just on social media there about his great run of form and him potentially getting a call-up already in March. But I know you had some different opinions on that and just wanted to kind of share your insights there for our fans here.
Yeah, so I think people who are talking about Andrija Novakovic making that March roster for that friendly there in North Carolina, I think maybe those people should cool off on it for just a little bit. I think that he's doing really good things for Telstar right now in the second league in the Netherlands. He's scoring a lot of goals, but again, it's the second league in the Netherlands, a league that's probably lower than the MLS in quality.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there.
Especially the top teams in MLS. So I think we should wait and see from Andrija. I think a good goal for him in terms of his U.S. men's national team future would be to maybe give him a call-up in the November friendlies or the October friendlies later this year after the World Cup when some of these other teams are playing
they're also trying the young players. Yeah.
So I think that would be more of the time you would want to see Andrija Novakovic in a U.S. men's national team shirt. And obviously he would still have to perform for the rest of this season to get to those fall friendlies. And then hopefully when he goes back to Reading, if he stays at Reading, hopefully he is in good form there and shows that he can score in whatever league he is playing for next year.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think those fall friendlies would definitely be the earliest, in my opinion, that Andrija should be in a U.S. men's national team shirt. But he's doing great things in that second league in the Netherlands and really exciting play, from a striker. So we're excited about that. Next, we want to move on to a player who made his debut this week. A player that we've been waiting a long time for to make his debut, or his professional debut in Europe, and that would be Erik Palmer-Brown. So, Pat, how did Erik Palmer-Brown look this week for KV Kortrijk?
Kortrijk, yes, that's right. And that was Erik Palmer-Brown came in against one of the best teams, the best team in Belgium right now. Yeah, currently first in the Jupiler League there, Club Bruges. The team known as many Americans know through Ethan Horvath, but who?
Who's not really in contention for a starting position right now, unfortunately. But
nonetheless, we got Erik Palmer-Brown making a great debut, young 20-year-old center back here. And it was a 2-1 loss to Bruges there. And unfortunately, the last goal, the game-winning goal, was kind of his fault.
Yeah, that's what it looks like in the highlights that we saw.
Yeah, from the highlights that we saw, the marking there, he kind of let his man get off the back post there and didn't close him down enough when the ball kind of came over the cross there. And that's kind of the inexperience of a center back. So hopefully he'll become more tactically aware, just aware of marking and where he needs to be in those certain situations. But nonetheless, that's a great accomplishment for him, and we hope many more appearances to come.
Yeah, and he played 90 minutes in that game, right?
Yeah, he played the full 90, so that's great. And also another thing, the starting center back that they had actually picked up yellow card accumulation.
Oh,
and so that was another possible reason why
he was
able to get a start.
See that. Okay.
Yeah, so that I just kind of saw that online that their starting center back had that accumulation. But again, congratulations to Erik Palmer-Brown and made his debut.
Yeah.
And another promising starlet, Austin.
Yeah.
For PSG there. You want to mention him, the son of a famous George Weah?
Yeah. So we're obviously talking about Tim Weah, who recently turned 18 and finally made his PSG debut this weekend. Some kind of surprising debut, although we kind of were warned about it earlier in the week. But yeah, so Tim Weah played the final 11 minutes of PSG's game against Troy.
Yeah,
is that how we want to pronounce it? How did you pronounce it earlier? Didn't you have a
Troyes? But that might sound too pretentious. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't take French in high school or college.
So if you guys can help us.
Yeah, but yeah, so Tim Weah played the final 11 minutes. Looks pretty good in his time on the field. Actually had a pretty good cross earlier in the 84th minute, I believe.
Yeah,
that was kind of looped into the box to a PSG player on the right who headed it down and actually got a shot off on goal, it looked like. So it was a pretty good cross. Also, later in the game, he had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper off nice through ball up to him on the wing, and then he just ran it down the field and was one-on-one. Took a pretty good shot, it looked like, but the goalkeeper saved it. So, yeah. And then
it's tough for a kid like that in the moment there.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on him at that point in time. And then there was another point in the game where he didn't look so great, where I believe it was Dani Alves who pinged the ball into the box, and Tim Weah looked like he tried to take like a fancy touch with it, but it didn't come off and he lost possession, but he was kind of wide open in the box, which was cool to see.
Thought I saw his head go up in frustration after that.
He knew that he screwed up. But
he did seem like he showed a lot of confidence out there and really wasn't scared or shy of anyone. Really.
Yeah, and I think from all that we've seen of Tim Weah so far in his young career, especially when he's played for the under 17 team this past fall at the under 17 World Cup.
And the World Cup and the CONCACAF Championship
spring as well. He's a very confident player. He's a very confident kid, even off the pitch. So I was not really shocked to see. Well, he called it actually this fall. So in an article on goal.com, in an interview, he actually said his goal for the season was to make his PSG debut. And I know a lot of people at the time when that article came out were kind of like, is he serious? Does he know that Neymar is starting in front of him? Kylian Mbappe, who's pretty much the same age as him right now. But he has a lot of confidence in himself, and he proved it by getting, a start, whether it was to injury with, Neymar out right now.
Right.
But it's still cool to see him get on the field for PSG, and hopefully that continues.
Yeah, let's hope that continues there. Yeah. And also, like you were saying before, that PSG is pretty much wrapped up the league almost.
Yeah, so he actually has a lot of opportunities, hopefully, coming up.
Why not play the kids?
Yeah. So just to go through it real quick, obviously Neymar, it sounds like, will be out for the rest of the year. So that's a player they'll be missing. Kylian Mbappe was injured this past weekend, but he'll be back for the Real Madrid clash later this week. Oof. So they also have, obviously, Edinson Cavani, Julian Draxler, Angel Di Maria. But
star-studded team.
Even though that they have some of those players, like Pat said, PSG's all but wrapped up that league title chase, and they should wrap it up for good probably at the end of this month. So that'll definitely give PSG some incentive to maybe play the youth since they've already won the league. Yeah, and also it's good to see that Tim Weah obviously made the 18 this week, but it also is cool to see that Unai Emery actually played him, because Unai could have just left him on the bench, not brought him in at the end of the game, could have brought in a more experienced player, but actually shows that probably Unai, if not the club, value Tim Weah. They believe that he's a player that they can develop, so that's good going forward. And I I think he should get some more minutes later in the season. Obviously, nothing's for certain, as we've seen with some other young players, like Josh Perez is a good example. He played.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
He came off the bench for Fiorentina last year and only made one appearance and then didn't get any more minutes the rest of the season. So hopefully that's not Tim Weah's scenario with PSG. I don't think it is. I don't think so either. I think a good gauge on how many minutes he could get this season would be anywhere between maybe 1 or 2 more appearances off the bench for like 50 minutes or so to maybe even a start later in the year, or some longer appearances off the bench, like around 300 minutes. So I would say anywhere between like 50 to 300 minutes should be, the amount of minutes he gets by the end of the season, which will be good for him if everything holds out the way it looks like it's going right now and he stays healthy. Yeah, so we're really excited about Tim Weah finally making his debut for the full PSG
first team there. Yeah,
first team. Yeah, so moving on to another player back in the Netherlands, but in the first division there.
Right, Eredivisie.
Yeah, the Eredivisie, and that's Matt Miazga. So Pat, how did he look this weekend?
So Matt Miazga played against Ajax there, and they won 3-2. Okay. And I actually caught some of that game. Shout out to First Bureau Sports.
Yeah.
So from what I saw, they already scored a beautiful first goal, and they were up 2-0, I believe. And unfortunately, I had some other things to do, but I missed Miazga again. Kind of the first goal that Ajax scored, another center back mental mistake where he wasn't marking his man, kind of lost him in the shuffle there. But nonetheless, Miazga still had a pretty strong performance overall. Almost scored himself on a nice corner there.
In like the 20th minute or something, 22nd minute?
Right in the beginning there. But it's awesome. It's definitely exciting to see him obviously really doing so well at Vitesse this whole loan. Yeah. The second loan back. Probably performing even better. He actually got another accolade there.
Yeah.
So he was the Eredivisie Team of the Week in one of the center backs.
Yeah, at the center back position. Actually, both of Vitesse's center backs, him and Kasia, another player we brought up earlier in our first episode. Yeah, so both of them were in the Team of the Week this year for the Eredivisie.
It's awesome. It's awesome to see, Austin. And hopefully Miazga can continue this, and it'd be exciting to see him potentially, just for a future, maybe move up to possibly even an Ajax, or stay in the Eredivisie, or
that's what's
PSV
been rumored.
Eindhoven. That's the rumor, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cooled off though recently, but that's what was rumored in the fall. So maybe we'll see next season if he goes anywhere else, if he stays at Vitesse, if Chelsea call him back and send him somewhere else. But yeah, he's getting consistent minutes, which is always good.
Consistency is key.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good for Matt. So now we want to move on to Kensei Ieave, another player who had an accolade.
Another accolade recently that we should have mentioned a little while ago, but the Proximus Jupiler, which is Belgium's league there. Player for the entire league, player of the month.
That's right.
Kensei Ieave, as he just recovered from a little while back, but recovered from a horrible knee injury, which is
from his brief appearance with the U.S. men's national team. Unfortunately,
brief.
It ended that way.
Unfortunate, but it's great to see him back and getting an assist there in a nice 3-2 win over Zulte Waregem.
Yeah.
Hopefully I pronounced that
pronunciation.
Right. Looked it up. But anyway, so that moves them up to second place, right behind Club Brugge there. It's going to be really hard to catch them, but it's still a good standing. And they're in good form now, winning the last 2 games. But Saif actually, according to Brian Scaretta there on Twitter, we're looking at some of the statistics. In the 8 games that he's appeared for Anderlecht there, he's gotten a goal and 3 assists.
Oh, wow.
And even the games that he hasn't produced those statistics, Austin, he's looked really, really good from the highlights in a few of the matches that I was able to catch. Just definitely one of the most impactful players on the pitch, and definitely a possible spot for a left mid for the U.S. national team.
Yeah, and even one of the best players in that league.
Definitely.
From that award. So.
From that award. But also another player we want to mention, another accolade.
Another big accolade, So I guess Cameron Carter-Vickers, right, won Player of the Month for Ipswich Town in February. So
which is great to see on a loan move, as he, like Austin and I were talking about before, he started off Sheffield so well, he kind of tailed off there. Starting off great with Ipswich Town here, and hopefully can continue that form, and his team giving him this. Not his team giving it to him, but just getting this award. Winning the award is a great accomplishment for a loanee,
right?
A young loanee. So it'll be exciting to see where it goes from there. And also, unfortunately, due to the snow and crazy winter conditions over in England as well as here, they were unable to play. I guess most of the games actually in the championship were unable to continue. So he's actually playing tomorrow, Tuesday. So we'll look to continue that good form going in there, Austin.
Yeah, let's hope. It seems like it's been kind of a up and down year with him. Obviously, starting well at Sheffield, then ending kind of uncertainly.
You're cold.
Yeah, oh God. And then starting well with Ipswich Town. So hopefully he can continue this run of form and finish off this final
strong
of the season.
Come on, strong. CCV. And another player, finally, Austin, you want to bring back into the fold. You got some minutes here.
Yeah, we can finally talk about
the Bundesliga.
Yeah, because he's been out, I think, since we've started, making the show or producing the show. And that would be Weston McKennie, who returned for Schalke this weekend, played 10 minutes in Schalke's 1-0 win over Hertha Berlin. He actually came on to be kind of that defensive sub to shore up the win. He had some good defensive play, just running around. He also had a nice kind of
a little flick,
like a little flick into the box to spring loose one of the Schalke attackers in the I think it was like the 84th minute or something like that. And that was a nice little move. Unfortunately, it didn't really amount to much. I think that player then ended up losing the ball, but it was still a nice play that showed some skill and some flair and a little bit of finesse to get it through a few players. So
and Austin, cool. What do you think? I was curious, definitely for our fans out here too.
Yeah,
it's especially in the Bundesliga, and Schalke's a great team. I was a little worried personally myself that McKennie going out for injury, that would lead other players to step up, possibly from the youth teams there, or people that were just kind of waiting on the bench to take that spot. But how did you feel kind of, especially now that he's getting some minutes back, but just wondering how you thought about that situation there?
Yeah, so when he first got injured, I was a little concerned that maybe his playing time would get cut because someone else would step up. But then when you really look at Schalke's team and who they have in the midfield, you can kind of tell that there's not really anyone who could step in and fulfill the role that he plays for that team, at least this season. Well, kind of. He kind of offers nothing that anyone else in that midfield offers, besides maybe Leon Goretzka. But they have, obviously, Goretzka. They have Max Meyer, who's more of an attacking option. They also have Nabil Bentaleb, who's kind of more of an attacking option as well. Also, Benjamin Stambouli. I believe maybe one or two other midfielders in there that could maybe fulfill his role. But I was never too worried about him. I mean, I was just worried that when he came back, Domenico Tedesco would trust him, kind of throw him back into the fold and get him wet, get his feet wet again, and trust him right off the bat when he got injured.
Because Tedesco's been pretty high on the youth players, right?
He's been high on the youth players, it seems like, and he's also been high on Weston McKennie. And this just further shows that. I mean, Weston McKennie just got cleared to train with Schalke this week, or full training this week with Schalke, and he played 10 minutes in Schalke's game this weekend. So that's good to see that Domenico really trusts him, because that was a tough spot coming in. Shore up a win that was only, they were only up 1-0. It wasn't like they were up 2-0, 3-0, 2-1.
Yeah, it shows a lot of faith. A lot of faith there.
Yeah, it really shows that Tedesco trusts him, which is great for us, because that means hopefully Weston McKennie, if he stays healthy, will play a lot more minutes, hopefully get a lot more starts later on this year, and will be a key player for Schalke going forward.
And now, heading into our final segment, Quick Kicks.
So you could test Dwayne Miller. It's Altidore over the wall, and that one is in! Josie Altidore from a long way out. The opening goal for the United States.
So, Quick Kicks is our final segment of each show, where we just discuss a few performances from this past weekend of American players in a quick, organized fashion. First, we have Jonathan Amon. So Jonathan Amon will actually be out with a tibia bone stress for the foreseeable future. The club hopes he'll be back sometime this spring, so that's not very good for Jonathan.
And Mukwele Akale over with Villarreal's C team played 90 minutes and got an assist in a 2-1 win over Sia.
Nice. And Ruby Robin actually played 32 minutes this weekend for the Xolos in their 3-1 win over Lobos Bois.
Sweet. And Keaton Parks with another 90 minutes for Benfica's B team in a 3-1 win over Corvilla.
And last but not least, Christian Pulisic, who played 2 minutes plus stoppage time for Dortmund in their 1-1 draw with Leipzig this past weekend. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe, like this video,
Make sure to follow our accounts there on Instagram and Twitter as well.
That's right. Or leave a comment in the comment section. We'd love to engage with you guys.
And Austin, what's that saying that we're always going to say one day?
We're always going to say it. One day, we will win the World Cup.